Welcome to another episode of Dexter Deep Cuts. We are your fantastic hosts, Nimrod Joe and Lizard Town.
Dexter Deep Cuts is a podcast of two fans discussing and just casually meandering about our favorite show. We'll be discussing characters, plot points, and just anything else we might think about the show. I will warn that there are spoilers, so if you're not up to date with the latest episode, do not listen. We will be publishing the podcast about a day or two after airing on the newest episode. Well, we'll be trying to. I would like to note that the discussion is not totally inclusive. We welcome comments, feedback, and even ideas for topics of discussions at Dexter Deep Cuts on Blogger, or please email us at dexterdeepcuts@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you, your thoughts, and we'll give you a shout out. Links are on the side, and if there's another show you'd like to discuss, tell us about it. So grab your favorite brew and enjoy.
So first off, I would like to say that this is the episode that we are recording the latest. This is like 4 days after the airing of the episode.
It's 5 days.
Well, 5 days. But we've been kind of busy, so let's get into the heart and soul of episode 30 of season 7.
I do want to apologize. I mean, we keep promising to post it like a day or two after the airing of the latest episode, but it's not turning that way due to time constrictions and schedules. But we will do our best, and I can guarantee that it will be done before the newest episode comes out. So this will be out before episode 4. That's for sure.
6 days later. No, not yet. Let's get.
It's true. It's almost 5.5 days.
So where should we start on this one?
You go ahead with it. You start.
Okay. Anyways, episode 3 is a pretty good episode. It's one of those episodes that really gonna start really the storyline of season 7. In this episode, of course, we Deb is watching Dexter. You know, she's continuing to do with that.
What I do love is at the beginning at the post office. That was great when the lady is like taking forever, and then she closes it down. He just fantasizes about slitting her throat. Like, I mean, how many of us have not thought about it? Except, I guess, people who are normal and are not slightly sociopathic or repressively sociopathic.
Okay. Well, yeah, Dexter starts fantasizing about killing people. He fantasizes about killing Masuka, who I believe has not gotten the proper airtime on season 7 yet.
I think so too, but
lacking.
I have a prediction for that, though.
What is your prediction?
My prediction, La Huerta is going to get Bautista, and she's going to get Masuka in on it first. I think she's going to get Masuka first to look at the blood slide that she found at the church.
Yeah, but I meant, on his humor.
That's true.
He hasn't been as funny because he's not on screen as much.
That's true. But I'm pretty sure we're going to see a little bit more of him.
Oh, yeah.
Like an awkward, dramatic Masuka that we don't want to see, but, we'll see more of him.
The soups.
So let's see here.
She wrote a lot of notes.
There's a lot of things going on here. I mean, there's Deb's control issue.
What do you think about Deb's control issue?
She seems to think that she has the power to cure the whole serial killer thing.
I know, because, that's her brother, and she doesn't quite get it. It's kind of like, when people are addicted to, let's say, smoking. A non-smoking person.
Interesting. do go on. Do go on. As I'm smoking the cigarette, do go on.
I'm just saying, as a non-smoker.
Am I serial killing people?
No, I'm saying as an addiction.
No. Okay, so you're trying to compare somebody who smokes cigarettes to a freaking serial killer?
I'm saying, within Deb's case, and the
she's trying to oversimplify it because I want to think that that's how you're trying to compare it, other than trying to take a jab at me. But anyways.
And then Deb. Well, like the way Dexter describes it is like an addiction. It's an addiction he has, and it needs to come out. So it's kind of like smoking and other things.
But he always goes back on the whole thing of his dad, Harry. Like, this is what he taught him. Do you think, to a certain extent, maybe Dexter wouldn't have been a serial killer if it wasn't for Harry? That maybe Harry had the issues and kind of projected that upon Dexter? And
I definitely think that Dexter could have, as a child, he could have raised him, not to kill. It's like, even though it would be tough, it's kind of like a crack baby.
I want to bring up, like,
crack,
what was it, the first episode they bring about the point that a puppy came home when they were kids? He didn't actually touch the puppy. He didn't kill the puppy. His dad got rid of the puppy before anything happened. It's like, well, you don't even know if Dexter would kill it. And also Dexter loves Debbie so much that he's not about to hurt her. And hurting the puppy would have hurt her. But it's like the father kind of instilled in him, like, this mentality that he is a serial killer. He is one.
Oh, yeah.
And then you have, of course, the whole comparison to his brother, who didn't have that kind of upbringing. And that does bring up the question, is like, well, he was affected, but does it necessarily mean that that Dexter would have become a serial killer? Remember, he was younger. So maybe it took him forever to even try to remember, but his brother remembered vividly, and that's why he was a serial killer.
But it was already noted that Dexter had, I guess you could say, serial killer tendencies very young, and
really, what? Actually, think about it. Think about all the episodes. There's really not any real evidence of him doing something outside of a normally slightly disturbed child, but not like serial killer stuff.
Well, I'm just saying that Harry saw that, and he probably got scared, thinking, okay, this kid's gonna become a serial killer, so let me help him out.
But I also think that Harry...
make sure he doesn't become a crazy serial killer and kills all these innocent people. I mean, at least set him up to kill bad people.
But I think that also Harry was kind of projecting onto Dexter the things that he wished he could do to these guys. He was very, like, kind of emotional about these guys who get away with doing all these horrible things. Yeah. And he did set him up with his first kill.
Well, yeah, so that's what I'm saying, that definitely Harry should, if, I guess you could say, if he was like most people, he would have, helped Dexter on a different path.
I think, to a certain extent, it was Harry projecting. That's my... Okay, well, okay, so this whole Russian mob, this Russian-Ukrainian mob thing, I think it was like in the first episode, it was at Detective, or was it Sergeant Mike Anderson, just as when, like, they replaced Dokes and they were short-staffed, this dude gets shot. But he seemed like he had potential as a character last season.
He did.
And it's just boom, dead, gone. And
that's what this show does, except for those, like, 5 main cast members.
Or you just upset a producer, who knows? But do you think, because of the judgmentalness of Deb, that Dexter's going to make bigger mistakes Or do you think he's already made all the biggest mistakes that he possibly could?
I think Dexter's already kind of messed up before. It's just Dexter's fault. You really cannot blame Deb here. I think it's just straight up Dexter's miss.
Well, I mean, yeah, we go back to...
The best thing Deb could have done for Dexter, I guess, is arrest him. That's like the best thing she could have done.
Or recede into complete utter denial.
But how would that...
Their lives would just go on as usual.
Yeah, but still, Dexter messed up anyway. He wanted to kill that like first guy. He may have not killed him.
Which guy? You mean Victor?
Airport.
Yeah, which we talked about. Like, it was like that takes some testicular fortitude to do that in the airport.
Either way, the guy's, I guess, tracking bracelet would have still wound up next to Dexter's boat, no matter where the man was killed. So, like I said, Deb had nothing to do with it.
Actually, she did. She put him into the spot where he was all nervous, and he was just trying to go after the first person who did something bad, and without even thinking about the possibilities or even going through his usual investigative process. And he went after this guy who has like these ties to, like I said, some Russian/Ukrainian mob. I think normally Dexter would not have touched the guy. He would not have normally touched the guy. I think he was kind of
pretty bad decisions in the past.
But this, I have to say, is the worst. I think usually he stops and steps back, but because of the pressure of Deb, and he's trying to retain some sort of normalcy in his own psychotic world, and so he just went for Victor without truly realizing what he was getting himself into. That's my opinion. Let's go back to the bracelet.
There is a very fantastic scene when the Punisher goes up to Dexter's boat.
Well, first of all, I want to point out Ray Stevenson's terrible accent. I loved him in Rome. Fantastic. But...
is he trying to sound Russian?
Yeah, he's trying to mix this sort of British accent with sort of Russian, because remember when he was talking to Nadia, this like very contrived scene where he's like eating caviar and drinking champagne, telling her about some whatever singer, in Russia, and trying to get that poor girl in a strip club to go and get close to the cops. So he's like basically threatening her.
Yeah.
That she needs to get more information, and if she doesn't, he's gonna kill her. But he's trying to act all like blah, blah, blah. And so I pushed my music teacher over the stairs, and with this sort of mixture of Russian/English accent when he talks about his father sending him to school in England. It was a little like pushy, like trying to put that backstory there. I think they could have done better.
I still...
with the writing.
I think it's going okay.
But then again, like, remember they're talking about the GPS bracelet.
And I was just saying, there was a fantastic scene where they get to Dexter's boat, and they find Lewis there.
Oh, whoa. Did you mention Lewis? Let's back up to what he did to Lewis.
Beep, beep,
beep.
Yeah, Lewis messed with the wrong mofo here.
He did.
Normally, a person with those computer skills can usually, I guess you could say, hurt a person worse, because then they can make their credit bad, or in one of those cases, you know, make, like, he made one of his ex-bosses into a child pornographer or collector. So
that's right. And then Dexter found out that the guy was actually innocent of all of it. That's right. And Dexter is like pissed about that because he killed somebody who was innocent, even when they were on the table claiming that they were innocent. And that goes way back. Remember? That goes
Are you
way,
sure
way back.
that's the same guy?
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's, I guess that's, you know, we're going to be jumping back and forth here, but that to me is, in essence, why Dexter's not this great serial killer that people should be cheering on. He's a person that needs to be stopped.
Well,
because that kind of stuff can't happen. Because
we're not there yet.
Oh,
we're not there yet. We're talking about. We're talking about everywhere. Let's go back to what Dexter does to Lewis. Let's go back. So, Lewis is really cross Dexter. He cancels credit cards. Sent him his brother's prosthetic hand. That's from evidence. Which he bought offline from that trashy chick that Masuko was trying to get with. Anyways, that's old history. So, Dexter mails the hand back to the crime lab, making sure that Masuka is the one who gets it. Because Masuka came and told Dexter, look, she took it, I don't know what happened to it, blah, 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 blah. And then, like, Masuka and Lewis were, like, all buddy-buddy. And all of a sudden that package came. And then Lewis is all like, oh, crap. You see the brick drop. And it's like, you're fired. You did this to me. You knew it the whole time. I covered your ass. You're fired. Dexter's just sitting there like, eh.
Oh, did a thumbs up.
I did do a thumbs up. He's all like,
And then when Lewis comes back home, he finds his girlfriend, which is Dexter's babysitter, and also
who's Batista's sister.
She stumbles upon a video of Lewis with a prostitute, and pretty much.
Yep. He tried to say, "Oh, it's just that was before he was like, you're wearing the shirt I gave you for your birthday." It's like, well, if you pay for it, it doesn't really count. He is a sleazeball. He's a sleazeball. I do like that as she's walking out, she does make a point to toss over all his what's it called? Action figures. Rather, I was going to say dolls, but his action figures that he made like such a big deal about. So, I'm glad about that. But then again, like when I watching the episode, I thought like, okay, well, Dexter just stirred the pot there with him. I mean, what if this guy is like an aspiring serial killer, or he works for somebody else who's trying to corner him, or what's going on with Lewis?
Thought that same thing. I always kind of thought that like he was a computer geek that wanted to make games, and he just had this game idea, working on it.
But why would he get so mad?
Because that's just his personality.
He's just a douchebag?
Yeah,
without a purpose? Like a real serious purpose?
Well, it's just he thinks he's really great at what he does. And,
ego, I guess.
He just has an ego, Because...
Well, so, I was like hoping that there was some other storyline or something deep going on with Lewis. But so let's fast forward to where the Lewis situation encounters the whole Ukraine mob situation.
So we go back to Dexter's boat, where
with the bracelet.
Yeah. The Punisher and crew track down the bracelet, which had a tracking device on it. And they find...
Because the girl was muling drugs. She was muling drugs.
And then they find Lewis within Dexter's boat, trying to put holes in the boat so it would sink. So pretty much they question Lewis, and in the end, the Punisher shoots him in the head.
I know, but what you missed there, like, he's like, oh, wait a minute, like, Dexter Morgan, he told them all the information they need.
Well, yeah.
The Dexter Morgan's this douchebag, kiss my ass, you gingered freak. He just sort of, he gives them everything they need to know, stupidly, in a way.
But why is that stupid?
You should have realized they were going to kill him anyway.
Yeah, but he's not friends with Dexter. Why is he going to protect Dexter there?
He might have wanted to have protected himself.
But they would have killed him anyway.
So if he just told him, I could show you the guy, I could take you to him. I don't know. I'm making it more complicated. Yeah. I'm making it more complicated.
They're gonna kill him no matter what.
For a split second, I thought he was gonna survive, and I was like, oh snap.
Oh yeah.
You know, like, he's, like, seriously, like, he's gonna make it through this encounter, and he's still gonna have Lewis, and he's gonna have the Ukraine mom, both of them after him. And then, you know, Ray Stevenson / Titus Pulo, boom, take care of it. And what's the deal with, like, when you have this kind of guy, what's the deal with the bald, quiet goon who does the dirty work? What is
how it is?
Is it like just a requirement for all goons to wear nice suits but be bald and just keep quiet and just do the dirty work? I just, what is the deal with that?
Gotta live up to stereotypes.
I don't know. It's just weird. But at the same time, think about Lewis's DNA. Because remember, they showed the camera onto the blood splatter from Lewis onto his boat.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna, you know, probably pan out within an episode or two. The preview for the next episode didn't allude to something immediately, but that preview was a little bit kind of they don't really show you too much. So yeah, so that's definitely gonna be a situation that's gonna be dealt with later.
And what about with all the distractions, like Randall's mother coming in and giving them that evidence, and like, I want to point out the whole serial killer flirting situation with Miss McKay. That was a little weird.
It was a little bit odd. But it looks like Dexter's gonna have another love interest in this season.
Is she going to aid and abet him? Probably.
Let's see.
And let's go to this weirdo with the horns.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Speltzer. That's his name.
Looks like that's going to lead to a pretty good B story. I'm pretty sure it's going to last like maybe 3 episodes, then it's going to be done, because then you know, the main story with the Punisher is going to take over completely.
I don't know. It seems to me it's kind of like
into one.
Like, I see it's kind of like a distraction from it's.
But that's what I'm saying. You know, it's a B story for the next like 2 or 3 episodes. You know.
But yeah,
it was like the main.
His lizard brain.
The lizard brain stuff was pretty fun.
I thought that was pretty good.
I got a crack out of that. We are jumping subjects like crazy on this episode.
Yeah. Even my note, like, I've made some notes, and it's like, whoa.
She made a lot of notes.
I'm still wondering about Deb. Maybe she's just trying to make him feel guilty or make him feel scared. Is she going to still be sort of flexible with him, or do you think that she's going to protect him still when La Huerta comes after him?
I believe that in the end, I think Deb might actually go down with Dexter if and when it comes to that point. I believe she will. If they have to go on trial or whatnot have you, Deb's gonna be with him. She's gonna go to jail. He's gonna go to jail.
Well,
Deb's gonna get out in 5 years. Dexter's gonna be out.
I don't know. I don't know. Like, I think she's going to do everything and anything she can to not only protect Dexter, she's going to say she's protecting him, but essentially, you know, she's got her own ego invested in the whole thing, and she's got that. She's not totally innocent. Oh, and about the Spelter?
Going back to that.
Yeah, I want to go back to that because it's going to be coming up in the next episode. It's like, I think I can identify, like, the whole ritualistic thing is, like, from the cult of Mithra. So if you want to look that up, look it up on Google, cult of Mithra. It's sort of like a bull worship. It was very heavy during Roman times. And you had to make sacrifices. And I think that's why he wanted the women to be sober and strong, so he can try to make it seem like he's making a valid sacrifice. But remember also, you know, Deb was trying to find out, like, family and all this stuff, and let's find out what's going on with that guy. What else is going on with that guy? Besides the fact that he's a freak. Will she let Dexter take care of him?
I think, yes. Just based on how this past episode ended, I think that she's, like, almost gonna that she wants Dexter to like kill him so that she can understand it
or feel better about herself because she let that girl die in a way. Sure, she just feels guilty.
I wouldn't say feel better about herself. I would say just so she can understand Dexter a little bit better, and she wants to see if she can comfortably live with the life knowing that Dexter kills people like this that ultimately deserve to die. So she just wants someone just test it out. It's, you know, it's kind of like.
But why would you still? If she was so high and mighty and so, like, perfect and I don't know. It just just seems to be that there's a certain point of her that is flexible, and I think, like, Huerta is also going through that. They haven't really revealed very much of that, so I'm waiting to hear some sort of bomb drop on that because she's been very quiet. Because Deb came to her with a sort of the same question, like Huerta was going to illegally look into that blood slide, and she didn't even process it as evidence. She's illegally looking into it, so she's also kind of hiding something. They're both hiding something from each other. I don't know. We'll see. I can't wait till the next episode. And it's titled Run, the next episode, so. And on another note, oh yeah, some more other interesting news in the TV world. Walking Dead is back.
It's all you there. I don't care for
it's just more sweaty, dirty people arguing and sometimes zombies. I mean, there has been a lot of zombies, but they're trying to balance it out with an equal amount of cheese. And,
what you gotta do for TV dramas.
I know.
But, this will we wrap it?
I think so.
So it's almost 30 minutes here.
Just about.
We would like to thank you for listening to podcast number 3 of Dexter Deep Cuts. You can email us at dexterdeepcuts@gmail.com, or even check us out on a brand new YouTube page if you don't want to deal with emailing us. You just message us there, or you can even message us on blogger.com.
Or podbean.com. That's where we're doing our podcast hosting, is on podbean.com.
Which I guess if you're listening to that, you might know that. Because since you're listening to it on Podbean.
But what are they listening to on YouTube?
That's true. That's really true.
That's all I'm saying. Alrighty.
That's what I said.
So, we're going to bid you adieu for this evening.
And
Good night.
good night.
Sweet dreams.